Thank you for sharing that. All right, so in the chat, you guys will see this is just kind of, we're going to go through some quick housekeeping. I'll talk about today's overview agenda. And then, yeah, let me just do that now. So housekeeping, challenge, opt in, opt out. I will be sending all of you guys an individualized message, inviting you to either opt out or opt in to house. If you are opting out, I'm going to give you 2 weeks of essentially just visual access to what you've already done so that you can do what you need to with it. And then I'll be bye-bye kicking you off the app. Okay, 2 weeks of grace period. I'm giving you the heads up now. I'll remind you in our messages. Otherwise, we're rocking and rolling. We're continuing on. Today's agenda, we're going to go through upper body tests. I'm going to discuss some archetypal overview stuff just so you understand your body a little bit better. And then we're going to go through breathing and stress regulation. We talked about this a lot last night in Alex's call. And one thing that I absolutely love for stress management and stress regulation is a breathwork practice that you can follow along with a crazy man named Wim Hof. I'll explain why and go into the science so that it's not all a weird woo thing for you. Okay, we're going to look at specifically today your internal rotation and external rotation. That's HIR, humeral internal and external rotation. I'm picking just those 2 markers because they tell me and you a lot about spine position, thoracic position, shoulders, what they're capable of, where they're cheating. And all of this is going to give us a very objective and clear picture of what's actually going on. So for those of you that Caitlin discussed earlier, don't have thoracic movement, but have a ton of shoulder movement, you can't hide it in these tests. We'll see exactly what's going on and we'll be able to fix that. I'll teach you guys how to breathe. Any of you guys that are OG housemates, you know I've gone through this many times, but it's very important that we learn how to get the right breath mechanics in the core. And then we will go through a couple different tests, We'll go through a couple of different positional drills where you breathe in a position in order to create expansion. And we will retest your initial markers to see what improves the most. So I think actually, Caitlin, you asked me on our call recently about how do I implement this when I learn about, okay, which one works best? Was it you? It was, right?
I think so, yeah.
And I just essentially said, do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to essentially go through and try to find which one or which 2 help you the most. And that's going to be on you to remember, all right, I got the door frame stretch or the quadruped or whatever it is. And you're going to utilize that all the time, really seriously, like 5 times a day in the beginning, before and after workouts, in the morning, in the evening, because essentially what we're trying to do is create a less friction filled path to body, brain to body, create expansion, be living in the expansion. Something I always say is you can't go where you can't go, right? So if you can't bring air into a quadrant, into a position of your body, you're not going to be able to access the full range of movement of the tissues. And there's nothing you can do to bypass that until you work from the inside out. Okay. Then we'll finish with wrist cars, pails and rails, and Wim Hof. Got a lot to do, as always, like the overprogram. So let's get into it and let's go through our upper body work first. Okay, so first thing I want you guys to do is stand up. If you're with me on recording, go ahead and stand up and follow along. I just want you, if you can see yourself in the camera, to place your hands on your ribs while looking at your own body, okay? This is going to be the most subjective part of today, but starting to just give you some tuning in with your own body. I want you to just go through your own natural breath cycles. And as you're breathing in and as you're breathing out, focus on the movement of your rib cage. Okay. So as you take a breath in, feel what your ribs do. Feel left side versus right side. As you breathe out, same thing. Left side versus right side. Every single one of us should notice some sort of movement, hopefully. Should feel like expansion out, almost like you're filling a barrel, right? Creating more expansion, 360 degrees. Some of you should almost feel like your ribs are opening and closing. And some of you might feel that one side is moving more than the other. Okay. So for my lovely live participants, what do you 2 feel right now in this?
You want to go first, Caitlin?
Yeah, sure. Just some expansion and then a
Mhm.
little bit of uplifting too, because I'm breathing from the top instead of from the stomach.
Okay,
There's kind of
cool.
this
So you feel
motion.
this whole elevation of the whole rib cage itself.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Do you notice expansion feeling easier and wanting to stay out there, or do you feel like coming in and staying closed is easier and wants to stay there?
In and close.
Cool. I just going to go in between muting because these damn sirens. Kev, tell me.
I feel the right rib cage moves, like it expands first and more. And actually surprisingly it feels like it's like the breath is coming from my belly. Like it seems to be like they open from the bottom first, not the top.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And in regards to if you could decipher or determine, you might not be able to, does it feel like inhalation and this big expansion is easier and once your ribs want to live there, or does it feel like exhaling and being closed down is easier and wants to live there?
I think inhalation.
Yeah, opening up.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are awesome. You guys are so in tune with your body already. So visually, this is so perfect to have the blend of you two because you're opposite archetypes. Okay, so we have archetypes of the rib cage and then of the pelvis. We're just going to focus on rib cage today, but essentially you've got a spectrum, and then the ends of them would be an exhaled or a wide ISA, infrasternal angle. That's the angle of the ribs here. And you have an exhaled. Did I say exhaled here?
You said exhale. So
Inhaled wide rib cage, right? Or an exhaled narrow rib cage. Okay. And these are the classic archetypes. So basically, just without confusing you, you've got a wide, you've got a narrow. Narrow in the rib cage is going to be better with breathing, distances, cardio, and the opposite, a wide, is going to be better with power, strength, etc. Okay. Now this is a spectrum, and of course you can train to be the opposite. So Kevin, you're a wide, Caitlin, you're a narrow, but this is just in the rib cage. That does not mean that you can't be strong and powerful in your upper body, Caitlin, and it does not mean that you can't be a cardio machine, Kev. It's just what your bias is towards. Okay. So for archetypes, you guys can know that and remember that. It might be a different story for your hips. Caitlin, it is. You're a wide in the bottom, you're a narrow in the top. And it doesn't actually have to do with like visual body representation. It's just in terms of the bone and the structure, right? So it's not like I can look at someone and be like, oh, they have bigger hips, so they're a wide. It's not necessarily the case, right? Same with Kev. It's not like, Kev, you have broader shoulders, you're a wide in the top. I actually don't know what you are on the bottom, Kev. You could be a narrow. I don't know. The reason I don't know is there's layers of compensations and they mask and they hide stuff, right? So you try to do like heavy stuff and you work out hard and you start to compensate, and then things get disguised because you don't actually move the way you initially did. Make sense? Okay, cool. Knowing this is just step one in kind of unfolding and getting better and working with your structure to make it better rather than just working against the grain. That makes sense, right? So you don't need to worry about this information, but just remember it. It's going to help us going forward. All right, sweet. So those are the archetypes. This is beautiful that we have one of each in class. I'm a narrow in the top. I'm a wide in the bottom. It's the worst for aesthetics for a man, but whatever, we got it.
And look at you.
And look at me. Thanks. All right, so we're going to go through these tests and then we'll learn to breathe and then we'll retest. So first thing, I'm actually kind of glad that it's just two of you because we can get really specific. So I want to see internal rotation of the shoulder. We'll just start with that. And I want you guys to do your best to mark down where you're at. Just since there's only two of you, I will be able to help and look at all this stuff. But if you want to just watch me for a moment, we're getting the elbow in line with the shoulder and just completely relaxing it against the ground. From here, the test is to see how far we can come down without deviating out to the side, without jutting the shoulder up. For many of us, this shoulder position is not even going to be perfect in the beginning. And we're gonna have a hard time noticing when it pops up. And that's, again, why it's amazing that you're live. I'll be able to tell you and show you what's going on. Come down as far as you can, naturally. None of this is meant to be athletically driven or aggressive. It should be very easy and relaxed. Kev, your camera's not on, just so you know.
Yeah, he
So
said
we'll-
his back.
Oh, okay, amazing. Great.
Sydney's
So
changing
Caitlin-
in the background, so.
Nice.
Sorry,
Okay, keep it
guys.
off. Keep it off. All right, sweet. So Caitlin, we'll start with you. And actually, let's do this. I kind of messed up here. Let's have you turn 90 degrees so your head is towards me. I want to look down
Okay.
at your shoulders from a top-down view. Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So what I'm looking at here is just to make sure that the shoulder's actually sitting properly against the ground, okay? From my angle, it looks like it's pretty good. For you, sensationally, do you feel the back of your shoulder against the ground?
I do.
But you feel a little gap?
Yeah, it feels like it's not completely flush, but.
Perfect, okay. Yeah, awesome. Actually, Kev, just wait, because you're gonna be such a good example as well compared to her. So, all right, so Caitlin is basically against the ground there, all right? This is a good position. So it's enough for me to say like, okay, you're cleared to see what kind of rotation you have. If you would, let your left leg go straight as well.
Okay.
Does that bother your low back or anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Slowly gonna move that hand down towards the ground and like really slow, super slow-mo. Maybe a little faster than that. Yep, and then just where you feel a natural stopping, blocking sensation, don't push past or through anything. Okay, cool.
It actually feels pretty good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Do you notice any movement or lifting in the shoulder from the ground?
No, actually, I don't.
Beautiful. Okay, so come back down to your bottom position, pause.
Okay.
Yep, cool. I want you to remember that spot on the body, okay?
Okay.
That is your internal rotation on your right side.
Okay.
Cool. Let's look at your left side.
Okay.
Okay, slowly moving, same exact thing. Keeping the shoulder against the ground. Anyone watching on recording, you guys are going to go through this test as well. If you want to watch this whole thing first and then test yourself, see kind of what works and what doesn't. Okay, beautiful. Because of shadowing, I can't tell, is the shoulder still against the ground on the left?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Yes, hold on.
So one small thing I notice is that left elbow starts to come down towards your hip. So make sure it stays where it is. Yeah, that's much better.
Yeah.
Cool. And then no gap, no increase in the
valid.
gap there. Cool. All right. That feels and looks to me about similar.
Yeah, they're
the other
about the
side.
same.
Does either one feel more restricted than the other?
I mean, maybe like a half inch on my left, but not,
Okay.
yeah, not much.
Yeah. Yep. The left side looked a little bit like it wanted to lift in the shoulder itself.
Yeah.
Yep. Compared to the right. Okay. Beautiful. So we'll remember that for me. Left side is a little more restricted. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Kev, are you ready to test yours?
Yeah.
Cool. Caitlin, you can watch Kev and anyone on recording. So this is a good example of something slightly different. You can kind of see Kevin's already elevated in that shoulder joint, right? So the anterior delt, the front of his shoulder looks nice and strong. It's kind of lifting his shoulder up off the ground. Kev, can you feel like your shoulder is flush against the ground, or do you feel a gap?
There's supposed to, like, there is a gap, isn't there?
Well, yeah, there's a small gap for sure.
Yeah. I think like if I
Cool.
push it down and then go back to normal, I can tell the difference.
Cool. Okay, so just let it relax. Don't do anything muscularly driven, right? Let it just fall. And then let's go for same idea. No muscularly driven movement, just falling towards the ground. And make sure you're staying at a 90 degrees so that hand's not moving towards your rug, but staying in close towards the mat. So bring your right hand closer to your body. Like bend that elbow a little bit more. There you go. Now come straight down.
Yeah.
Are you stuck?
That's my sticking point.
Okay, beautiful. I love this. It's completely opposite. Cool. All right. So let's get a side view. if you would. Let's just stick on this side for a second. Let's get that elbow up a little bit higher. Right there's good. Okay, make sure you're at that 90 degree and then slowly come down, find your sticking point. Make sure you're not reaching out towards me. You're staying in that closed 90 degree angle. Cool, so we're stuck about there.
Yeah.
All right, so let me do this. One sec, don't move. I screenshotted it. Okay, cool. We're gonna get you in that exact same position after we retest. So let's just quickly do your left side. Let's see if it's better, worse, same. Yeah, and this view is fine. Do you feel shoulder against the ground?
Yeah.
Actually looks, this starting position actually looks a little bit better from this angle to me. That looks a tiny bit better. Pretty
Yeah.
similar.
Close, I think, yeah, a little bit better.
Turn, if you would, turn 90 and let me see head down from the top down. Okay. Does one side feel better than the other?
Yeah, I think the left side feels better.
Okay, great. So right side is worse. Awesome. Caitlin, your left side was worse?
Mhm.
Okay, please remember that for yourselves because I'll forget. Okay, let's go through breath real quick and then I'll teach you a positional drill to fix this. Okay, so first thing, just lie down on your backs, get really comfortable. Bridge your knees like you're gonna start a glute bridge, but just stay relaxed, butt on the floor, head on the ground, super relaxed, okay? Hands are gonna go on the sides of your abs, so your obliques. Yeah, here, I'll show you. Hands on the sides of your body, right? Trying to find your obliques just under the rib cage. You can leave your fingers on your ab muscles, your six-pack muscles, your rectus abdominis, and just kind of have a good sensation of all that stuff in there, all the muscles in your core, okay? What we're doing to figure out this breath, you're gonna exhale as if you have a little mirror in front of your mouth and you wanna fog it up. And honestly, if you're audible in this way, it helps, okay? Nothing needs to be muscularly driven again, but the exhale in and of itself in that way is gonna kick on your internal oblique, okay? And that's what we want. So you're gonna exhale with that nice and slow all the way out. You should feel towards the end of your exhale, those obliques kick on. It's the muscles kind of kicking up and out into your hands, right? So you should feel your side abs turn on. When you get to that end of your exhale, just close the mouth, hold for a second, breathe in through your nose with the tongue on the roof of your mouth. If you're at a different cadence than me in this breathing, that's fine. Keep going through it. And your whole entire objective here is to get your side abs on through the exhale, to stay extremely relaxed, and then to keep them on as you relax your inhale through the nose, tongue on the roof of the mouth. What you should feel is your ab muscles, your rectus, six-pack, Lego muscles should be relaxed. You should have a jelly belly on the top, but the sides should engage slightly. And when you inhale, you should feel like your rib cage and your upper body are expanding with more air than normal. These might all be very subtle sensations. That's okay. This is just what we're looking for. Six-pack muscles off. Oblique muscles turn on because of the exhale. You don't need to force it. You don't need to engage anything. You just exhale slowly. Inhale through the nose, tongue on the roof of the mouth, big expansive breath into the rib cage. Okay. Anyone on recording, you're going to do that until you find it and you feel like, yes, what I'm doing is matching what you said. Caitlin and Kevin, give me a thumbs up when you guys have figured it out. Okay, awesome, awesome. All right, sweet. So that is kind of the breath, right? And the more we lean into that sound, the better, because it's just going to naturally kick us on in the right spot. And when we get into weird positions, you won't be able to really control through a muscularly driven strategy. You'll just have to rely on the exhale. So we get it now. Let's do it in a completely different position. Last week we did it in this position. We reset the pelvis. And Caitlin, you might want to that's one we're going to have to revisit for you because that'll help a lot with the thoracic position. But for today, we're going to flip it. We're going to go into our first test, which will be the quadruped offset breathing. So grab a book and hopefully a decently large one. It can be, if you don't have a book for whatever reason, it can be something else. What I'm really looking for is to elevate your hand about an inch, okay? So something that you can elevate your entire hand about an inch. It does not have to be huge, but it should be big enough for the majority of your hand to be on it, right? If your fingertips are off, that's fine. But if your palm can be flush on this thing, that's what we really want. All right, so we did the internal rotation test and one side was worse than the other, okay? Whichever side was worse, I want you to put the book on the other, underneath the other hand. So the opposite hand, okay? And I'll explain this to you real quick as you're in this position. So you two, awesome, you're already in position. For anyone watching, the position would be book underneath the hand that is better, the arm that moved better, okay? What we're doing with this slight offset, you guys can chill for a second. When I get here, my whole spine is essentially kind of rotated to the left because I'm offset on the right, okay? Does that make sense? And when I do that, I'm actually creating a little bit more space in these tissues from the center to the shoulder, and in the back tissues from the shoulder blade to the spine, right? Because I've offset this, there's a little bit more space on the back of this side and a little bit more space on the front of this side, okay? We want both of those things, and that slight movement is where we're gonna bring air. So now we're gonna expand that upper back and the opposite chest wall. And that expansion is gonna allow for those tissues to open, and then we're gonna get better movement, okay? If this is the culprit for you, you're gonna see a drastic change. If it's not the culprit, you'll see some change, but maybe not all, because we gotta just find the tissues that need to be expanded, okay? All right, so book is under the opposite hand. And all we're doing is thinking about the breath I just taught you, trying to stay super relaxed. Make sure that your weight is evenly distributed, left hand, right knee, left knee. So we have our weight completely centered. And then I want you to totally take the slack or tension out of the chest, not the slack, excuse me, the tension. So a little tiny elbow bend with internal rotation. Think about kicking your elbows out and your biceps towards each other, okay? And just make sure that you've got no tension in your chest. You're not pushing and turning those muscles on. However, you are creating a little bit of separation in the upper back. So you're thinking about separating your shoulder blades and reaching your mid and upper back towards the ceiling. There's a lot of talking. You guys following me? Okay, amazing. All right, now it's just your job to breathe and relax. So you're going through that breath with that slight offset. Elbows can be slightly bent and shoulders should be internally rotated. So biceps are facing each other, elbows are out towards the sides. Reaching slightly with the upper back, but not pushing into the ground because we want that chest to be relaxed. Slower on the exhale, a little hold if you can. Slower on the inhale, tongue on the roof of the mouth. That will really help. I want both of you guys to go through, and anyone on recording, to go through 5 breath cycles. The slower, the better, but don't go so slow that it feels like you're straining to get too much of the breath out. Stay super relaxed. Try to find that upper back reaching to the sky a little bit. Feel the obliques turn on. Make sure that the chest and arms are relaxed, no tension. Okay, 5 full breath cycles. If you're still doing it, still do it, that's fine. Once you have done those, go ahead and flip and let's retest. And let's retest the side that was less capable first. So Caitlin, your left, and Kevin, your right. Kev, can we have you turn sideways a little bit? Let's get the shoulder in a better position. Make sure the elbow's up at shoulder height. You could come down a little bit more. Okay, Kev, does that feel pretty similar? Any better?
Yeah, I mean, pretty similar, but I think
No, that's a cheat right there. It's similar.
Yeah.
Let's go left side. Caitlin, any difference? Any change?
Yeah, mine feels the same as the right now.
Cool, they've evened out.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Kev. Okay, that looks still slightly better than the other side.
yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So Kev, I'm gonna have you, Caitlin, your internal rotation at this point is solid, check the box, we're good to go. Kevin, yours needs improvement, but I wanna test external rotation, do something that's gonna hopefully influence that, and then come back and see if it also influenced your internal rotation, okay? So we're gonna go external rotation test is the exact same thing, but instead of coming down towards your body, you're gonna go up above the head, okay? Notice no muscularly driven, no like using your muscles to crank your arm back. Let it fall slowly towards the ground. Same idea, if there's any deviation in the shoulders or especially the rib cage, many of us will lift our chest, extend the back, right? Arch the back to get a better position. Make sure you're not doing that. And then Caitlin, if you would, can you scoot your whole body just further away from the camera?
Oh
I
yeah.
gotta get my charger real quick, 1 sec.
Okay, we go Caitlin first. This is way better with 2 people. Okay, go slow. Nice, that's staying flush against the ground. We're gonna get all the way there. Dope, can you get wrist on the ground too?
No.
No?
Not without doing something weird.
Oh, cool, okay, great. So we do have a little gap there.
Yeah.
Yep, all right, cool. Secretly kind of hopeful that we weren't gonna get a full pass on that because that would have mean we had more complexity. Let's see this one.
That's about
Oh, we got a big discrepancy. Are you right-handed?
yes.
Cool. Okay, sweet. This is telling us a clearer picture, just giving us a clear picture, telling us a better story. All right, so left arm worse on external rotation.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, Kev, just remember that, Caitlin.
Okay.
Let's go for your external rotation tests,
You want top down?
please.
Okay.
So Caitlin, you had like, you were basically done on the right side. How much gap distance-wise would you say on the left, just because I was looking top down? Or maybe actually just turn and let's look at the left side while Kevin's doing top down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Do it so I can see from the side view, if you would.
side view.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, I just want to get a good. Kev, you go for external rotation.
Let's see.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah, further away.
okay.
Kev, stop when you get to the end. Don't try to finesse, just show me your end. Cool, you're like in line with your head.
I have a couple inches on my left.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, okay, cool, I can see the shadow, that's perfect. All right, Kev, let's see your left. Thanks, Caitlin, I took a screenshot.
Yeah.
Kev, which side is worse for you, sensation-wise? They're both pretty locked.
I think the right, actually. Just
The
surprising.
right side,
Yeah.
not surprising. More tension because you're more dominant. Right, you're right-handed.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Do you have a clear memory of where that is? So if we retest, you could tell if it's better or worse. I didn't screenshot you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So we'll go for door frame. If there's one that was worse than the other, let's start with that. Okay. Door frame lat stretch. You don't have to have a door frame, but it works the best. Okay. I'm just going to show you with this. Essentially, what I'm doing is reaching in to kind of anchor. But when I say you don't have to have a door frame, you really don't have to, because you're not pulling and stretching. You're just kind of holding. Okay. So if my left side was worse, I'm going to do the left side. If I had less movement on the left, I'm going to stagger my stance so that my left foot is in the middle of my right foot. You can see this slight offset dragging it back. Okay. And then what I'm doing here is just very gently, slightly reaching through. Okay. I can kind of think about like resting my forearm on my left knee and this little rotation, and I'm going through the same breath. So exhale, hold, inhale through the nose. And on my inhale, I'm feeling like I'm expanding all of these tissues, the lats, the back of the shoulder, everything. On my exhale, I'm actually feeling like I'm contracting into my abs on the opposite side. Okay. So I want to get tighter and shorter on the exhale, and then longer and bigger on the, I'm sorry, the other way around. Yes, on the inhale, Okay. So again, try not to hang super aggressively. But if you're doing like what Caitlin's doing, make sure that you actually feel like you're sort of supported with that arm reaching. Okay. And then Caitlin, I actually would encourage you to go. So right now you are doing this against the wall.
Uh-huh.
I would encourage you to go the other way so that you can sort of internally rotate your hand.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So bring your hand over. So pinky's on the top and thumb is on the bottom.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then Kev, make sure you're not pushing on the wall, you're pulling.
Yeah. Much different.
Yeah, good. Okay, and that reach is just subtle. Weight is evenly distributed between the front and back foot. Exhale audibly. Get tight and small on the opposite, on the small side. And then breathe in, get large and long on that extended side. Think about, visualize the air being pulled into that whole lat and side body. And then on the exhale, think about your oblique muscles tightening, contracting. One side contracts, the other side has to expand, and vice versa. So the more contraction, the more expansion. Three to five full breath cycles. If you feel like you're really getting it and you can feel it, 3 is fine. If you need a couple more, take it, please. Do this once. Kev, you're done. Let's retest your right side. Or whatever arm you were up on the wall. Let's test that side. Will you fix your camera, please? No stress. I just want to see it. Caitlin, you could maybe reach higher and hinge further if you wanted. Yep. Kevin, any change?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. Go to internal rotation. Any change? Go slow. From the top, it looks similar to me.
Yeah, it looks pretty, it feels pretty similar, but
External got better.
yeah.
Cool. Check the other side just to see if we influenced the whole thing there. Caitlin, yep, exactly. Thank you. Kev, any better?
Yeah, I think so.
She's reaching for it.
Closer. It's just, that's about it.
That's way closer though.
But yeah, I mean, I'm only probably an inch off now.
Yeah.
compared to-
That's way closer. Cool. So we increased your external rotation mobility by like, I don't know, 5 to 10 degrees at least
Oh my gosh.
by breathing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, amazing. So both of you have your internal and externals. Kevin, we got a little better on the external. You could definitely do the same thing on the other side and get better on the external on the other side. Okay, for the sake of time, let's move to the Naruto head slam. For both of you though, that's a good one, right? It's essentially just creating more expansion for the lats for both of you. okay? Just because I can't help myself. Kevin, your upper body is wide. So you've got kind of a tendency to be pushed in this way forward.
Mhm.
However, you've got some layers of compensation because of the lifting and exercise that you've done and stress and whatever else. So for you, you're kind of locked up in your lats from this. And that's why that's so helpful to unlock the lats. It's going to help everything move for you, right? Caitlin, you're also locked up in the lats a little bit, right? But yours is influenced because of your pelvis, and your pelvis is likely anteriorly dumped, right? Pushed forward,
Yep.
sexy butt, right? And that is creating the compression of the low back, which is creating more tension in the thoracic. And that's probably why you don't have thoracic movement. Okay. One thing that I want to make sure you understand, and you probably already do, but just to be clear, they do influence each other. They do play with each other. Everything does, right? It's one system, but there's a huge difference between scapular movement and thoracic movement, right? They go together for sure, but the more you do the scapular stuff, you're really just kind of getting motion and range in just those tissues that attach to the shoulder blade. And then that allows for the humerus, the shoulder, the arm bone to like move better. But really what you need to influence is the core and the center and the muscles that are all in here, including the lats, so that you get more thoracic movement, right? Which is separate. So just making sure you understand that, because it'll plant a seed for you and you'll always be thinking about, oh, okay, different things, right? Okay, sweet. Naruto head slam is my favorite one. So you guys are going to grab, if you have it, a foam roller. If you don't, a light pillow would be great. We're sticking this thing between the thighs. We're getting about, I don't know, 1.5 feet, depending on how tall you are, away from the wall. Essentially, we're just getting to a nice hinged position where we can rest our head on the wall, okay? Super weird position. The point of resting the head is so we can turn our neck muscles off. So it doesn't have to be like falling or slamming into the wall. It's just resting your forehead on the wall, okay? We're in a nice hinge position. The foam roller is between the thighs just to give us a good hip separation. And then we're just doing the same idea where nothing is athletically or muscularly driven. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not doing anything muscularly or athletically driven. We're just reaching palms towards the ceiling, okay? You may feel your tricep kick on, that's fine, but we're not like, oh, trying to reach as hard as we can. Once we get to our end range, we're going through the breath. So it's that, and what we should feel is the ability through our breath to actually raise up with ease. And I didn't sandbag that and start easy and then go into that. That actually just opened for me that much. Did you see how much I was able to move my arms? Okay. So you guys are gonna do the same thing. Try to find your end range, hold it there, go through the breath. And as you can, just start to let your hands come up higher and higher. Nothing should be forceful, athletically, muscularly driven. It should just feel like, oh, I'm actually able to go up a little bit more into that extension of the shoulder of the arm. Yeah, Caitlin, that's perfect. Nice. And just try to get into a decent hinge. Your torso doesn't have to be perfectly parallel, but it should be close. And you should feel your weight kind of mid-foot. Knees are slightly bent just to relieve any tension. Okay, arms are straight, palms reaching. Good. 3 to 5 full breath cycles. Get those internal obliques kicking on. Hold them on as you go through a nice tongue on the roof of the mouth. Inhale. Through the exhale, you should feel like, oh, I could actually raise my hands a little higher, maybe on the inhale. Just see if we can get those hands higher and higher as we go through the breath. The more relaxed, the better. The more you focus on the breath, the better. So don't try to reach and be strong with your arms. Try to sink and melt and relax with the breath. Good. See if you can reach up a little higher there, Kev. Opening new position through the breath, relieve the tension, be relaxed, maybe even bend the knee a little. Yeah, Caitlin, you're in a good position. That's good. Okay, beautiful. After the 3 to 5 full cycles, come back, let's retest. Kevin, I want to see internal rotation. And then Caitlin, let's just see if we influenced external rotation at all. Better?
Yeah, I'm on the ground.
Nice. Kev, do you get better external rotation?
Yeah, and internal.
Dope. Try your left side. Kev, I don't have time to go through it with you because I want to finish this off, but you should also do the hook lying hamstring bridge, the pelvis one.
Okay.
Because I bet that, like, you should, if you have time, do it on your own, try it right after, and then retest your shoulders, see if it made a difference, because I bet it would. Cool. So like I said to you, Caitlin, like pelvis position influences rib cage. They're all attached, right? And so Kevin's not getting huge changes with this because it's kind of a symptomatic approach. Like we're just being targeted here.
Right.
Whereas I'm saying to him, if you do the pelvis and bring that back into position, that might actually unlock a ton here for you. Okay, amazing. Good stuff. I mean, either way, you guys are better than you were, right? And so now you can understand, like, okay, I couldn't get to this position. Maybe if I overrided it and like really cranked on the muscles, I could. But now you can without any effort at all, right? So think about in lifting, you can't access a space as you're going through a motion. And now all of a sudden you can. How much better is that for training, right? Less wear and tear on the joints, more muscle recruitment, because you weren't even using muscles that were getting you in those positions, right? Just giving you a buy-in, like this shit's important. Okay, and it's not just like oh, I need to fix one time and I'm done. It's an ever-changing, it goes forever. Some days you're tighter than others, etc. All right, beautiful. I'm really glad those worked. Let's go through.
Yeah, I've been doing these sometimes before workouts, like if I have time, and yeah, I think it definitely helps a lot, like especially the pelvis one, like the not glute bridge. Like
Yeah.
after I do that, like I can squat way lower and
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, cool stuff. I think in future, I will actually be filming each of these individually so that when we go through mechanics classes and I say like, okay, Naruto head slam was the best one for Kevin, I will be able to just like have a playlist that you guys can access and just remind you like, hey, do 2 of your breathing exercises before you warm up today. And then you can look at it and watch it and follow along. But bear with me, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your choice, because we got 10 minutes. Would you guys like to go through wrist cars or Wim Hof?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Okay, sweet.
I guess
Let's
Wim
go
Hof?
through-
Or sorry, go ahead.
No, well, so Caitlin, have you done Wim Hof before?
I have read his stuff. I haven't
You
actually
read his book?
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And are you bought in or you think he's a kook?
I mean, I tried it, but I guess I haven't put it into practice is all I'm saying. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, sweet. I was gonna say, let's go through Hales and Rails, but only because I have a feeling that many people aren't gonna watch all the way through this recording. Like if you don't show up live, it's just, I get it. And I want people to go through that.
We can do that then.
Hold on. All right, we're doing Wim. I flipped the foam roller and decided which side was gonna take us where. Okay, cool. So here's the deal with Wim. I have worked with a couple of people one-on-one and I went deep into the breathing rabbit hole. One of the big components of Wim is essentially depriving yourself of oxygen for a moment so that you can extract oxygen from the cells themselves from within the body rather than outside the body. Okay. our bodies usually work in opposites. So like working out is hard on us. It's bad for us. It's hurting us. And in response, we have more capacity, more strength. We are better. We are healthier, right? So bad thing, response, good thing. Okay. Same thing with this. When people are trying to get better at their cardiovascular outputs and systems, they're over flooding oxygen, right? It's too much oxygen, which means we actually become less effective and less efficient at utilizing the oxygen we have in our muscles. So the thing that we actually want to do is train and deprive ourselves of oxygen, the opposite, okay? And that's kind of what we're doing here in the Wim Hof. It's also my favorite way to throw you into parasympathetic nervous system state. So Kevin, you're asking about stress relief. This is the best thing we can do, in my opinion, because it takes 10 minutes and it's impactful. So I'm just going to throw it on and have you guys go through this free thing on YouTube so that you know how to access it on your own and do it when you want. It takes 10 minutes. Do you guys have 10 minutes? It's 2 past, it's 52. All right, beautiful. Lie down, get comfortable. Wim is gonna guide you through this. If you can't hold your breath for the entire duration of his breath hold, I have like a medium dose here. It's okay. Just go back into natural breathing and then join in again with the inhale, exhale. Do not stress belly, chest, like just focus on breathing. It's okay. And do not stress mouth or nose. Doesn't matter. Just breathe. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Let's get into it. I'm going to share the sound, share the screen. Oh, maybe I can't share the screen. That's okay. Relax.
Hi guys, welcome. This
Can you
is
hear
a guided breathing session.
Wim. All right. Beautiful.
Relax to the deepest. Lie down, sit down, whatever it takes. Relax. Are you ready? Here we go. Round number 1. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just go with the flow of the breath. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in and let go. All right. 1 minute breath hold from now on. Be in this moment. Let the body do what the body is capable of doing. Be aware of your heartbeat. Slow it down and just be in this moment. Let that relaxation spread down to your toes, into your fingertips, to the base of your neck and head. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. Okay, recovery breath in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Round number 2. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Nice, deep, circular breaths. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in. And on the exhale, stop. 1.5 minute breath hold from now on. Feel, become aware of your body. If your hands and feet are tingling, or you feel your body temperature is changing, that's okay. You're doing fantastic. If you need to breathe before I give the cue, that's okay. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. When you're ready, fully in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Round number 3. Back into that rhythm. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. In with the relaxation, out with the stress. In, out. In, out. In, out. Into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. In with peace, out with stress. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Nice, deep, circular breaths. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in. And on the exhale, stop. 1.5 minute breath hold from now on. Become aware of the blood running through your veins, your heart beating. Feel. Thirty seconds left. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. All right. Breathe in and hold for 15 seconds. Exhale in 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Let your breathing return to normal as you finish up the round. Move your body bit by bit, starting with your fingers and your toes. Let your breathing normalize. If you liked this guided breathing session, we got more for you.
All right. How was that?
Freaking great.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. I love sharing that with people because I really truly believe it has a profound effect on a lot of things. From just a fitness standpoint, it's amazing. But also, Kevin, you were talking about last night, stress management, reduction, meditation. I just find that that's a huge way to kind of create some space between, your upper limit and stress. We've got so much information and stuff coming at us all the time. And I apologize, I add to that with, the app and the training that you're doing, but anything that can bring us into full presence like this, focusing on the easiest, simplest thing, our breath, is going to help us create a wedge, a little bit of a gap, a little bit more space to operate. And then of course, you should feel at a very peaceful parasympathetic state right now, right? Just naturally, breath is how you get there. That's the easiest way to get there. That I will link in the group. It's just, there's a ton of Wim Hof free follow alongs. I like the follow alongs because you really just listen to it, tune out. It's guiding you through the whole thing. There are some other ones that people have made, advanced ones, 2-minute holds, 3-minute holds, and so on. Yeah, it's you'll be surprised. I did this, the first time I did this, I could barely get 45 seconds. And within a month, I was holding over 3 minutes on the exhale.
Wow.
So just be consistent. It helps a lot. It's amazing what you can get. And I swear that that's why I did well in my fitness competition, because I did not train for that at all, but I have been doing a lot of this. So I believe in it. I believe in it heavily. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed learning some stuff today. Thank you so much for being live. And yeah, I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, got there.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye.